we are of course back with another video. Now, as some of you may know, I have of course been suffering from the good old Rona. Yeah. But I decided today that I probably should get myself up and actually do something. It's clearing up a bit now and I'm feeling a bit better, but I do apologise if I do sound a little bit shit throughout this video. We're still recovering, but we're okay, so hopefully that'll be gone in the next couple of days. But today, guys, I just want to cover a mixtape which I've been finishing off over the last few days, writing up all the notes, and that is of course Bleaksville 3. Now, if you remember a couple of months ago, I did actually cover Bleaksville 1 and 2, and my overall opinion of these two mixtapes were I was impressed and they were pretty damn creative. So I've been sort of hooked up on covering the third one for quite a while now. And before we go ahead with this review, let me just let you guys know that I'll probably be covering this in 2 parts. It'll all be in the same video, but you'll just see probably a different t-shirt or something like that, because I really don't have the strength to cover it all in one go, because this is probably going to be a bit of a longer one. And I just found an anime that I really want to watch called Blood Sea, so kind of want to go and watch that as well at the moment. So I've been waiting to do this for a while. Let's get into it. This is Welcome to Bleaksville 3. So, we're coming to the intro, and the intro is fucking awesome for a start. It's like an anime intro with a bit of rap music over the top of it. A rose is basically dropped into a puddle of blood by one of the characters. We get shown a video with a sepia filter over the top of it of some people fighting each other by hitting each other with chairs. There's a clip of a guy who tries to leave an interrogation room, and one of the police officers slams the door shut. The guy who's been locked in the room takes a gun out of his pocket and shoots 2 of the 3 police officers within the room. The next clip shows what looks like some thieves breaking into a clothes store. You've got a man being beaten up in a prison. Oh, and these clips are also happening with some kind of cool cartoon or anime clip going on in between each of the clips. There's a very brief clip of a man getting hit with a baseball bat out on the street. There's 2 men who roll into what looks like a gas station and basically steal what looks like a gas meter, I think. And then we're shown a bunch, and by a bunch I mean a lot of dead bodies. It's actually pretty creepy, to be honest, and this is all shown to the song Holiday in Cambodia by the Dead Kennedys, which, by the way, is a fantastic song. I should clear my throat real quick. Christ. And keeping to the Bleaksville trend, we also get a variety of clips on either side of these pictures of bodies. And I'm going to try again, in your normal Bleaksville style, to keep up with these clips, because again it's crazy and it's all over the place. So, to your left, which is probably your right on my screen, you've got a man who's getting his head hacked off by a machete. On your right, you've got a man who's tied up with duct tape on his mouth, who's being hit with a machete or sharp blade, and he's screaming, which eventually leads to the people doing this to shoot him in the head. The next clip on your left shows a man against a tree being beheaded. And let me tell you that the corpses that are basically shown in the middle of the screen are actually pretty damn horrifying, and they're all in like various stages of decomposition. It's more interesting than gruesome in a way. On your right, you've got a clip of a very skinny man on the floor with a shotgun in his mouth. There's a note lying beside him which says this. Now, both the clip of the man being beheaded next to a tree and the clip of the note both disappear. This is followed up then by some kind of grainy war footage. Now, on your left you get a video of a woman being beheaded against a white wall. And on your right there's a video of a man getting hit in the face with a revolver. And they proceed to cut off this guy's ear with a pair of scissors. Another clip appears to your right, and it's a woman against a tree, tied up, laid against a tree. And somebody proceeds to throw a giant rock at her head. She then gets smacked with what I think is a plank of wood, until that breaks, and then somebody starts to smash her head in with a pickaxe. It then zooms in on her unrecognisable face, and after this another video of a man on your right in a blue polo shirt pops up, in which he's being hit with 2 giant planks of wood. Another clip then pops up on your left, in which there's 2 Indonesian women sat against a blue wall. Nothing really happens at first, and they basically follow the man holding the camera out of the room, seemingly just naturally talking to him. One of these girls just gets shot in the face several times over by somebody who isn't the cameraman. Next up we've got a very, and I emphasise the word very, blurry video of a man who's tied against a chair with white cloth in his mouth, and it looks like somebody's maybe trying to burn his penile area with a pair of pliers or a lighter, or maybe try and rip it off. The man's wearing jeans and his penis isn't out, so I presume they're just trying to burn him with hot pliers. I then realised when it zoomed into the clips that it was actually a firelighter, and this person was indeed burning his thighs and penile area. And then we get the proper Bleaksville intro, the BBC. But not like the British BBC, this is the Bleaksville Broadcasting Company. Now the thing I love about this particular group of people is that they're actually extremely creative when it comes to the mixtapes that they create, as we've obviously learned over the last 2 Bleaksville mixtapes that I've covered. Now the intro can speak for itself, as there are parts that I probably can show, and to be honest it is quite funky. And there's a couple of things that I didn't show, including a guy on the floor being kicked by a group of people, a guy getting knocked out, and yeah, there's just a couple of fights in there that I decided that I'd just not show. There's one particular clip of a man in a Spider-Man costume. There's also a naked Asian guy fighting a bloke, and it reminded me of the movie The Hangover. There's also like this prostitute, I guess, with just her breasts hanging out. It's yeah, not the greatest of looks. And I forgot to mention that on top of this there's like some Just Dance arrows over the top of the screen, which is quite an interesting input. At one point there's a naked woman with her whole head on fire, and there's a dude who gets caught as he's about to have sex with a dog, and he gets shouted at while he's crying with his cock out. Okay, so the intro ends and this clip comes up with this big dude lying on the floor. It looks like he's been roughed up a little bit. It sounds like he's said something a little bit racist in the wrong neighbourhood, and people have started on him for that reason. The next clip, we've got this. After this, it cuts to somebody pulling a monkey's arm through a cage, and it obviously looks like the monkey is in a bit of pain. It starts screaming pretty loudly, in which a group of other monkeys tries to come to its aid and help its friend monkey out. Next up we've got a naked buff man riding a horse. There's a funny song about a gay cowboy playing over the top of it. Next up is a video recorded at a Halloween event. There's basically these 2 little kids sat on a couch and their mum is about to take a picture of them. These horror characters come out from behind the couch, and this little lad starts freaking out. Poor kid. Next up, you've got this Russian convenience store worker with this absolutely horrific ponytail haircut, just beating up a customer. Next clip, we've got a British chav on the floor, and he's obviously been in some sort of a scuffle. This guy with one arm picks him up and throws him out of the store, and this chav starts having a go at the guy with one arm, in which the one arm guy comes out of the store, picks the chav up with one hand and slams him to the ground. It's pretty damn spectacular. Next up, there's two Russian guys who are playing with a shotgun while their friends are asleep in a living room. One of the guys accidentally pulls the trigger and shoots his friend in the face. Next up, we skip to the dash cam of a police car. They're telling this young lad to get down on the floor. One of the officers gets his taser out when the man refuses, or the boy rather. The kid puts his arms up in self-defense and then puts them back down towards his pockets, where there's apparently a pistol hidden in there. The police then fire a ton of rounds at him, and the kid fires back and gets killed. Next up, there's a very quick video of a white car slamming into a police officer and another car. And there's one particular clip that comes up where there's a police officer tumbling downstairs with another man, and the police officer's stabbing this man violently. And yes, you did hear that right. The police officer was caught on camera stabbing somebody else. And yeah, a lot of this section's mainly just hard to make out police dash cams and police footage. It's mostly police just reacting to people coming at them with knives and aiming at them with guns. And there's also some riot police. One of them's got a police dog, and the policeman falls over the dog straight onto his arse while he's stepping away from a small group of lads. When he falls over the dog proceeds to attack the police officer. Now, there's also a CCTV clip of a man at a firing range with a gun, and all of a sudden he just raises the gun up to his chin and shoots himself in the face. There's what looked like some kind of fight that comes up in a parking lot corridor. It's not really a fight as such. Some guy comes through some double doors. He shoots what I can only presume is a enemy gang member and starts stabbing him numerous times. He then proceeds to hack his leg off while the other guy with the pistol starts shooting the lifeless body both in the head and the chest, but mainly the head. And then this group that attacked the other group sort of just runs off. And you've also got some police dashcam car chases too. I mean, shit, I guess I can show some of this.
Beats clipping weak shit. We all rise to bring us up, to strive to bring us up, comprise to bring us up, disguised and for the club. Now it's time for freedom. Screaming power to the people at the move of the regal. Get my clap on, clap on.
Next up, you've got some classic BBC News intro, and the BBC, if I didn't mention it before, is basically a TV channel in the UK, which is why I said it wasn't the British BBC that I was referring to in the first part of the video. It's basically a short clip about disabled people, and I mean, you can take a look.
3 grades of deficiency are recognized. Moderately individuals are referred to as morons. Those who are severely retarded are classed as imbeciles. and the very severe are termed
Bleaksville Broadcasting Company.
And it then moves on to a clip of a Jim will fix it episode. And I've realised that I'm actually running out of breath, which is weird. I need to go and take a rest, so you'll see me again in a bit of a cut. So yeah, I'll be wearing a different shirt.